Hello and welcome back to Idle Kingdom Defense. So this is version 1.2.3, the literal worst update they've done to the game. So there are some good, and there's some good, but mostly bad. This is the update I did not advise you guys to get, because while it did expand the auto battle gold and the auto battle soul stones and the medals per ads, and the auto battle time, which doesn't do anything for conquest, but that's a separate problem. It is absolutely 110% terrible because of this new berserk feature that I don't even think was tested. If they would have tested this for just 5 seconds, they would have seen, well, I guess it would have had to have been a minute to see how the difference before and after. They should have reconsidered what they did. But they did not. And alas, we are stuck with it. And the thing is, I didn't even get a warning of how bad this update was. I did the update because there was a 300 gem, thing for the week. I'm like, oh, wait, I didn't get this. Oh, it's in the update. Oh, okay, I'll get the update. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about what a tragedy this update is in a separate video. Obviously you won't see this video right away. But I do have a video planned that I will release shortly. I'm basically filming this, and I'm going to turn around. Like, I made a video, I'm like, yeah, it's an update, it's okay, you got this new berserk feature. That was before I checked in the Discord to see how bad the berserk feature was. That was just my initial... I didn't think it was going to be nearly as bad as they made it seem and then it was worse. It was so bad. It is the worst thing they've done to this game, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, this is a change that I would have been okay. Damn it, missed it. It was in the middle. You sneaky little... I would have been okay with this change if they did it as part of the Mythic update. I would have also hated it. I would have thought it was a terrible change. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that... I understand the problem they're trying to solve. And I've said many times the problem is that King's Ruin is too long. I think we can all agree that King's Ruin should not take you 2 hours out of your day to do. I think anybody with half a brain can agree to that, this is supposed to be a mobile game. Nice. Get the Ascension Stones. You should ideally play this game for less than an hour a day of active playtime. Nice. Got some more Ascension Stones. That, to me, is a good metric. Less than an hour. So it doesn't seem like it's a time vampire trying to take up all your time or all that. Okay, well, we missed out on the Ascension Stones. But, it gives you something to look forward to every day. Ideally, I would say the ideal playtime is about a half hour. Nice, got Ascension Stone. And that's a half hour that can be spread out throughout the day where you can basically play at any time. I think it's more important to... Oh, miss the Ascension Stone. Have people return every day, like give them something to look forward to every day, and have them return. I think that's more valuable than having someone play the game so much and they just burn themselves out. And, damn it, we don't get the stones. Now, again, you could argue that, well, I play the game more because I have to renew my medals, and maybe you do, maybe you don't. I mean, that should hopefully be a quick thing, and we miss it again. And one thing is with this update, they did change it so you can get up to 200 medals, which again, I would say that's a positive thing. And of course, that means you can get 399 medals without trying. That does suck for me pushing, though, because I use them to push. I don't know why I'm holding these. And since I'm using them to push, that will create a problem. But now we are going to go into the horrible thing that they did. Not yet, not yet. We will get there in King. I'll actually show it to you in King's Ruin, and we will talk about probably how... I probably won't even be speeding up this King's Ruin, because that's how terrible it is. It is so bad. I promise you I'm not overselling this. That's why I posted the warning on my channel, do not update. Do not update. It was so bad, I posted that warning. I emailed the developers like 3 times, because I'm like, what are you doing? You just destroyed the game I love playing. And I didn't quite say it like that, but I mean, like, I said probably more accurately, this is the worst update you've ever done. This has destroyed the game. I'm pretty sure I said the word destroyed, or like, destroyed or ruined. You can tell me in the comments which you think is better. I actually posted my. If you were in the Discord, you would have seen this exchange with them because I was so. I wasn't pissed. It was more like disappointed. Like, because I understand what they're trying to do. We've complained that King's Ruins is too long, and the fact that they're trying to do something about it is a good thing. The problem is they did a good thing in the worst way possible, the absolute worst way possible. I could not have made up a worse way to do this. And again, like I said, this would have probably been fine if the game came out like this, and we were all used to it, because I think in the early game, the game pretty much functions like this. Would the game has been as fun to play? That's debatable, because I would say it also makes it part of the problem with the change that they proposed is it makes the game so unbelievably oh, we really need to spend these. It makes the game so unbelievably grindy that it's not fun. You wouldn't make the progress you were making, at least I would say past maybe 2,000 or 6,000 or so, because 6,000 is really when it hit the wall. You probably could get to 7,000. So yeah, it wouldn't be a good change in the name of the game. And again, by making the game less fun, more people play it, and it's not good for your revenue either. Making a bad game, the best way to the first way to make a bad game is just to make a bad game. The second way to make a bad game is to make a patch that turns a game into a bad game. Ooh, Mythic shoes. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have. Oh, I forgot to do this first. Oh well, we'll do it now. Yeah, I'm still like. Again, I don't feel like I'm angry, but I'm just like disappointed because to me there's so many, and it's bizarre. Like the most bizarre thing you're gonna hear from me tonight is that, you know, I said like in the Discord, this was at 12:30. I was on my lunch, and I said the most bizarre thing about this, or the most bizarre thing was like I understand what they're trying to do, but the way I would have done it is increase like. And I've said this multiple times on my channel. If you've been paying attention at all, make leveling the castle more interesting. Right now, all you get from leveling the castle, it becomes a bigger and bigger stack of hit points. That's it. It does give you some archer attack, but Marion. But where we are now, the amount of archer attack it gives you is equivalent to +3. Okay, so the archer. Oh, Marion again. I really do need her. The archer attack eventually just becomes insignificant. And Christian, and again, that's for Mythic and Lucas. It's a Mythic Plus which is basically the Ascension beyond Mythic that does not currently exist. I just don't know what to call it. We went Legendary, then we went Mythic, and we got Christian and Gabriel and Roderick. I mean, they could rename it and make one of them like Heroic then Mythic. That'd be kind of interesting. Heroic then Legendary then Mythic. I could get behind that. Marion and Thor. But anyways, and like I've said this multiple times, Camilla and Sophia twice. Nice. Is that make the leveling the castle more interesting? Right now, it's just a sack of hit points. Yeah, you got defense engraving, and I'm not saying that should go away. But what I'm saying is, oh, Roderick, is that the castle should have some kind of baseline defense. Should have baseline defense penetration resist. And Lucas should have some kind of baseline gain, and Sophia. Now, the thing is that they shouldn't do is make it fucking linear. And Gabriel, nice. They should make it like a step function. And what I mean by a step function is, oh, Camilla. Every 1,000 levels or so, it should go up. Like, it shouldn't just be, ooh, the Viking chick and Harold. And Thor. Thor twice, actually. And Sophie. Okay, we're getting kind of a lot of summons here. But what I mean by a step function is that when you reach certain tiers, and Vincent, of advancement in the castle, Roderick, then you should get a buff and power, and Thor. So, for example, like if it's linear, right, let's just pretend every level is 1 defense. and Camilla twice. That just means that no matter what, you have a linear gain. It's not really that exciting. You know, I go up 100 levels, I know I'm going to get 100 more defense. That's kind of how the health works now. It goes up a linear amount. It's like whoop-de-doo, I don't care. Gabriel, nice. A step function would be like, oh, and the Viking chick. Okay, at least we're getting some stuff today. And Sophie and Vincent. All right. I'm just going to go look at the castle. A step function would be like, for every 1,000 levels, we do it. The castle has an aura. We all do 1% more damage. Okay. For every 5,000 levels, the amount the amount of total additional archer attack doubles. All right. So in this case, I'd have 8 times this amount, which would still be shit. But I mean, it would be at least 160k. Which, if you're not super gear, I mean, that's about 24. Probably actually would need to be more than that. I probably would need to be around. I would say it should be at least 10% of your damage. So it'd probably need to be closer to 16 times this. So it'd be. Wait. We'll go with 20%. So about 30 times this. So then it would be about 600k damage. So that'd be a pretty good number. And that'd be a number that would go up, and it would stay with you, and it wouldn't depend on your archer gear. But again, that would go up, so that would be 32. All right, so it'd just be 4 times more. We'd have to we could just make it go up either faster, earlier, or later, or something like that. Especially since the cost continues to increase, so it does get harder and harder to promote. And like, for example, for every 1,000 levels, you get 1% more damage, so mine would be 42%, and I'd want to get to that, 43,000 for that extra 1% damage, Same thing with defense should kind of work the same way, like the first 5,000 levels should give like 1 point. Then once you get to that, those levels now give 2 points. Like, basically, the castle upgrades along the way. And those it's no different than when you ascend your heroes, right? If you level Marion up as uncommon for 100 levels, she might have 100 attack. It's probably more than that, but just pretend, right? You promote her to Mythic 5, and now that's 5,000 attack. It's the same thing with the castle. Except instead of ascending... but instead of ascending the castle with Ascension Stones, you just pour gold into it, and the more you level up your castle, the better it becomes. Like, it hits milestones. It goes from, like, blue castle to gray castle or whatever, I mean, they could do the same thing. This could be the blue 1-star castle, and it goes up to, uncommon castle, and, follow the same pattern. Why not? But it would only go up based on how much gold. I mean, they could even add a promotion system. I wouldn't be necessarily against that. It's just traditionally the castle promotion system has been gold-based. Anyways, what I'm getting at is there's a lot of different ways you can solve this problem that don't involve punishing the player. And what I mean by punishing the player in this context is basically saying the investment you've made in this game is no longer good because we decided to change it. That, to me, is punishing the player. Now, there's no reason they couldn't say, okay, for levels beyond, I think the maximum you should want to go right now is 17,100, because that's the end of the Mythic 5-star runes. So I would be totally on board if they said after that, like, we're going to make the game harder. I don't think it would be fair to people that have already gone beyond that. I think you'd have to give them a choice, like, say, hey, you can either reset your difficulty to 17,100, which, again, is kind of shitty. But, I mean, at least gives them a choice. Like, we didn't, if you give them at least a choice, I'd consider that fair. Right? If you give them a choice to say, hey, look, we know we screwed the difficulty up, and we need to fix it, and really these levels don't give you any bonus in-game outside of, like, bragging rights. You can either keep where you're at and maybe hit a brick wall, or you can reset your progress to this, and you should be able to still clear this. Obviously, you'd be able to go back through the stages and make sure you could actually handle those stages, but you get the idea. Or just cap King's Ruins at a reasonable stage. Like, since the highest anybody should go should be 17,100, just cap King's Ruin at the difficulty. I wouldn't complain about that either. The other side effect of this update is basically I heard it kills Austin. Austin was basically only viable. I mean, we'll still test him a little bit, but I mean, we got some work to do there. He was. Oh, we didn't get enough Marion. How much did we get? Not enough of either. I thought we got. Oh, so close. 7 away. Yeah, I'm kind of really cheesed about this whole thing. Wait, is everybody? I'm probably angrier about this than I should be, but I'm angry because they have a good game. And they did the one thing you shouldn't do to a good game, which is change it too much where it doesn't benefit the player. That's the one thing you never want to do. You never want to make something players could do all of a sudden like 6 times as hard. That never goes over well. Never. If you want to increase the difficulty, what you do is say, okay, we're going to change it going forward so it has this difficulty. But you only unlock that difficulty once you get to a certain point. That 100% makes sense. The way they did it, no. If they would have done this when Mythic Plus came down, I think there would have been a huge backlash anyways, because again, it's the change isn't balanced. That's the biggest thing to me, is the change isn't balanced. You know, it doesn't work with the mechanics of the game in the way you would expect, and that makes it bad. Oh, I forgot I got another stone. Well, we'll try again. And I'll tell you, that does make it bad. It makes it not feel good. You know, when you invest, especially when people are investing money, right? It's not just their time. People have invested money in this game. Some people probably a decent amount of money, depending on your, somebody's decent amount of money is a billionaire's pocket change. I mean, there's always that, but you know what I mean. All right, 42,750. Yeah. And one of the things that did change was if we go here, you can now stack the buffs up to 15 each. It's no longer 5, it's 15, and it is 25% each, and this actually got nerfed. It's now 4% from 10%. So, attack, 4%. But, I mean, that's not really why we're here. But once again, I mean, I don't know what to say. Don't get the 1.23 update. They are going to fix it because they got so much backlash and feedback about how it sucked. But that's going to take 2 days. So just wait the 2 days. Don't be like me. I am going to be your warning beacon, and once again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. If you have any questions, please say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And thank you again. I hope you have a good day.